amazed at just, even eye contact and my baby looking around within a couple months, we were kind of interacting already. But crying is a big way for them to communicate.
Right.
Advice on crying.
Right. Parents ask me all the time, why is my baby crying? And if you take care of the basic needs, is the baby hungry? Does the baby need to be changed or burped? Okay? And all of those things have been kind of taken care of or dealt with, and you're thinking, babies do cry. And they cry because they are communicating, or they're trying out their vocal cords, or they're going to cry, and it doesn't always mean there's a problem. So you should try to, take care of the basic needs. If your baby's crying, a little bit out of, where it's worrying you, where the baby's crying a little bit more, you can always, talk to your pediatrician. You can always call your pediatrician or call 292-BABY to ask, what I should do. What I usually recommend, if I were on the other end of the phone and the mom says to me, oh, the baby's crying and crying, remember that you can overfeed a baby, you can underfeed a baby. They can sometimes get into trouble by having, like if they're in a sleeper, they can have a little piece of hair wrapped around their toe. So, there's several things. So the doctor or the nurse on the other end of the phone is going to be asking a lot of questions. So if you just kind of use common sense and kind of go through all those things, and if you really are at your end and the baby's still crying, then, you can definitely give a call or have the baby seen, at the doctor's office.
Okay, so the basic needs first, and then if it persists, and there is persistent crying, colicky babies.
That's right. That's right.
Good friend of mine just coming out of the first 3 months, and I guess that's when it's worse. Is that right?
It's in the first 3 months, and then usually on their 3rd month birthday, done.
Oh, yeah, they're fine.
So, but it's a hard 3 months, because you really feel like you can't, do anything for the baby. Sometimes motion helps them. If you rock them or bounce them a little bit, that sometimes it helps their intestinal area. So.
My friend, the mom stayed home for the first 3 months, and then he took a dad leave.
Okay,
and so as she handed him over, exhausted after 3 months of crying, the baby was fine, and I'm sure she doesn't feel happy about that. So
he left
sometimes
out again.
Life is not fair.
No.
Another questions I think parents would have. You always wonder about your capabilities of your kids. Like, what can they see? What can they hear?
Right.
What can they see?
Well, in the newborn, they actually don't see a lot. They see light, dark, they see shadows, grays. They haven't developed their brain to see anything. But in the first 2 months, they're learning, their brain is learning, and they're going to be looking at you, and their brain is going to be developing, so that at 2 months of life, that's when they're going to be able to recognize the mother or the father's face. So when you have your baby, in the first couple months, your baby should have 2 periods during the day where they're very alert, very bright-eyed, and they're kind of checking things out. All the rest of the time, they're usually sleeping if they're not eating. That's the time that you want to talk to your baby. You want to let them look at you. This is both moms and dads, okay? And no fighting over, who gets to play with the baby in that time. But this is a very critical time that their brain needs to. You don't want to turn off all the lights and make it dark. You want to have some lighting, but not real bright, but not real dark, because their brain is learning what's going on in their new world.
And so as they interact with you, and they're looking at your face, right? Primarily, they're drawn to faces.
That's right. They can also imitate. If you're kind of bonding with your baby and you stick out your tongue, your baby might do that as well. And that's a really fun thing for dads and moms to do.
Yeah. So that's actually good for them on a number of levels then, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's not only encouraging the parents to spend time with their babies, but it's also, it's also necessary for the baby's brain to learn this new stuff.
Yeah. And am I understanding right that type of interaction stimulates the synaptic growth in the brain?
Absolutely, absolutely. If you kept a baby in the dark, they would never learn how to see. They would never learn. So, yeah. So that's definitely developing their brain.
Yeah. I was stunned with some of the conclusions and some of the brain research with babies, where they said, that whole interaction and everything that happens in those first couple of years is just, the brain isn't fully developed at birth. And you get to take part in the stimulation of it.
Yeah, it's fascinating how what a baby learns in the first 4 months of life, the first 8 months of life. That you think, but it's incredible.
Yeah. I think a lot of parents knew intuitively, like, boy, there's a lot going on here with this baby, but now some of this empirical evidence starts coming in and you think, oh, that brain is just exploding.
Right, absolutely.
You know, even talking to a child, I can remember somebody saying, I didn't know that just talking to a child helped me to stimulate its brain growth. I wasn't talking to the baby because I didn't think it understood what I was saying.
Exactly.
Missing an opportunity there.
Exactly.
So
that's why I say that there's a lot going on that you don't realize because the baby can't really talk back to you.
Sure.
But there's a lot of that they pick up that
Yep.
you'll be amazed.
Yeah. I would think even holding, that connection there would be tied to their whole, I don't know, sense of...
Absolutely. The feeling of your warmth and your heart, you know, if you
Yeah.
have the baby, I mean, they definitely, they've also looked at, you know, monkeys that were given a surrogate mother that just was like on a piece of rug.
Yeah.
And those babies didn't thrive at all. I
No.
mean, those baby monkeys didn't thrive at all.
Yeah.
They need the human touch and human bonding.
Yeah, because it strikes me, I know when I would hold my kids, and I would hold them a lot, if they just started to shuffle, to move a little bit, you react to it.
Exactly.
You know, it's a little dance that seems to go on there. I don't know,
Right.
but it struck me as if you hold them a lot, then that dance is going on a lot, you
Yep.
know, so.
Babies' brains don't grow by themselves. But when you sing to your baby, talk to your baby, and play with your baby, her brain cells learn to grow. So sing to your baby, talk to your baby, play with your baby.